Today was a big day for Black Ops 4, but if you look at everything that's going on, it might not be exactly what you anticipated. So today we're going to talk about the update 1.12 that dropped today for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and soon to be on PC, and take a look at everything that changed, what it included, what it didn't include, and the timeline of things that we can now look forward to as we press on throughout the upcoming weeks. So without further ado, there's a lot to talk about, so just jump right into it. If you haven't been on an Xbox One or PS4 just yet, your update will be roughly around 7 gigabytes depending on the platform. So if you have some slower internet, it might be a little bit longer here to download and then install. PS4 still has the copying mechanic, which is still one of the most annoying things ever. It's like twice the time it takes to download. But as for PC users, that is apparently supposed to follow shortly thereafter this update. Treyarch replied to a question asking about the PC on the official patch notes, which will be linked in the description below. They ended up saying they're targeting a Thursday release, which also is a date that we'll come back to in a little bit here in this video. But again, about 7 gigabytes it'll take you here for this, so you can download, install it if you haven't already. But if you have, the first thing you'll jump into Black Ops 4 and see is a brand new main menu UI. You end up having your first multiplayer Blackout and Zombies, but with all different playlists for once in the featured playlist selection. You have Blackjack's gun game, Ambush, and pardon my probably botched Italian, Veni Vidi Zombie. So those are of course brand new and featured on all 3 main game modes throughout Black Ops 4 that you can come and check out. But starting out with the multiplayer side, I know a lot of you guys here are multiplayer and really only care for that kind of stuff, so getting that out of the way quickly. The only things that really were changed out with multiplayer were a bit of the featured game modes, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of multiplayer players are getting a little bit frustrated with the lack of attention or therefore updates for multiplayer. I know that we just got the Barbarians event for PlayStation 4, but for a lot of players, that's not what we would consider content. So that's something that we now have on the featured game mode list. We have Blackjack's gun game, which is of course your gun game, but with your DLC weapons involved. So if you have them unlocked, whether that be from tier 25, 50, or 100 with the Secret Santa, the Daemon, or the SWAT, those are something you can play around with as well. But also the Cap 45 is available in that too. So you'll be able to take advantage of all those DLC weapons if you don't have them unlocked already. It's just a nice little way to kind of take a game mode already out there and incorporate some things that players may not be used to playing around with. Outside of that, we end up having the Endurance Mosh Pit, which is a returning mode. That's a mosh pit that's going to include kill confirmed, TDM, domination, and hard points, and it's a mosh pit of double the score limit. So kill confirmed is around 130 if I'm not mistaken, TDM that gonna be 150, domination gonna be 400, and hard point going to be 500 scores. So that's a mosh pit that will have all the game modes included here with that. We also have Safeguard featured as a game mode here, even though that's not really out of the ordinary. It's just now brought up at the featured tab. Mercenary Capture Mosh Pit is still around, and also Hardcore Mosh Pit is now on the featured tab as well. That's TDM, kill confirmed, and domination, and a mosh pit of your most standard game modes for hardcore. So a little bit of everything here, trying to encompass all multiplayer individuals that may want to take advantage of this, but it is also something that, again, isn't all that much. Outside of that, there really wasn't anything added in. I know that we saw a little bit in terms of the Xbox One and PC side, but not even the Blackjack shop is anything brand new. Blackjack shop and special orders are still 100% repeats here on this one. But as for Xbox One and PC users, you guys got a little bit again to kind of add to stuff that is new on your front. You now have the Barbarians special event, which will last for about 27 days. And that's something that at the very end of that, you'll end up getting the Cap 45 machine pistol, which is a decent secondary and actually rivals that of SMGs. We talked about this last week when it was first introduced, but that's something you get 25 different items ultimately leading up to the Cap 45. And all you have to do is simply log in and get your tier skip by winning a game in multiplayer, getting a kill in Blackout, or getting to round 15 and Zombies, and you'll be able to get this for absolutely free. And chances are when you play like that, you're going to progress more than just the initial tier boost skip you have, so you'll probably do it in a quicker amount of time as well. That said, outside of that, again, multiplayer didn't have all that much, but moving over to the Blackout side, this is where we start to see some of the changes being added in. Blackout actually had the brand new game mode Ambush, like we talked about. That was something added even on the front page, which kind of confused me because we saw that Down But Not Out was supposed to be going live until the 30th, but, well, today's the 29th, so we got Ambush seemingly a day earlier. But here's the thing, I almost think that Down But Not Out released a day later on accident, and then it was never really communicated as such, and so therefore Ambush was probably initially scheduled for Tuesday, but because of that 2-week time period, it kind of made it seem like we weren't going to get it today, but rather tomorrow. Regardless though, I have a ton of fun with this game mode. It is absolutely awesome. Ambush is a quads game mode, unfortunately. It's not solos or duos. I know a lot of people people have expressed their interest in seeing the limited time modes be solos or duos, but it's something you only get sniper rifles and knives, and occasionally you'll find a launcher as well. There's no delay between circles, it continuously comes in, and by the way, the zone smacks. It's 20 HP per tick of damage that it does, so definitely try and stay out as much as possible. And then also you end up having your standard perks, your equipment, and all that kind of stuff as well. It's a ton of fun, and this is gonna be my mode. I love sniping in Blackout, so I'm gonna be grinding this like mad. So that said, you can play that with your friends. It's in quads now on PlayStation 4, coming next week to Xbox One and PC. And according to what I've heard, the limited time mode for Blackout on Xbox One, Down But Not Out, apparently disappeared. But I don't know if that's an accident or if it was taken out intentionally, but I'm assuming it's going to be back sometime soon. Outside of that, though, across the board, we ended up getting different changes to concussions, armor, and cluster grenades. Now, concussions actually work a little bit different. There are those outplay mechanics in which, again, Treyarch detailed, as you're going to be able to swap your weapons, melee, and then also throw equipment as well. You can go down prone as well a little quicker, it seems, but the biggest thing here that you may notice is that no longer completely blinds you and makes your entire screen white like a 9-bang would, which actually, believe it or not, kind of comes back to the base concussion that we saw whenever the 9-bangs were still in the game. So for whatever reason that was buffed and now it's kind of reverted back, but you no longer have that completely white screen here with that. As well, it seems the distance has been actually brought in, not a substantial amount, but enough that you can notice, and also the duration of these are not as long as well. So you can definitely take a look at that and expect to maybe have a better time against concussions. But one thing that I don't know, this is completely off the top of my head and complete theory, but having tried to test out some of these concussions and explicitly looking for them in game, I feel like I find them less. So I don't know if it actually was adjusted, but for whatever reason, it feels like right now maybe there's even a lesser spawn on concussions. But that again is completely just the hunch I had, and it is no way, shape, or form confirmed, but wanted to throw it out there. As for the armor, it's something that, again, the mitigation for the damage on level 1, 2, and 3 actually has all gone down, and that's something you might notice. I've seen a lot of people saying that they get melted a lot quicker now, but personally, I don't know if it was because I hadn't taken enough damage in the few games that I played earlier, but it wasn't something that I noticed was too bad, but it was noticeable. And in terms of actual statistics, level 1 damage protection was reduced from 30% to 15%, level 2 was decreased from 40 to 25, and then level 3 damage protection was reduced from 50% to 35%. So there's definitely a huge change with that mitigation in terms of just raw statistics, but it is something that how it translates to in-game, that's something I guess a little time will give more clarity to. And also on the armor side is that it now takes 2 armor shards for level 3 in particular to repair 1 tick of health. So come late game, if you come into contact with level 3s a lot, it's going to be easier to end up taking out an opponent that way. Of course, if you have one, it might be a little more annoying that you can't stay protected as easy, but it is something that I think that is probably a decent way to mitigate level 3 spam at the end, because you'll find a lot of players with that. But my opinion out of the side, that's something that changed as well. Then we ended up having a change to the cluster grenade, in which it increased the time to detonate after impact. And this is one that you definitely notice if you play with clusters a lot. It's almost like you're thinking, is this gonna detonate anytime soon? But there's that extra second that it takes for it to actually go off. And additionally, there was a damage reduction for the mini cluster grenade explosions as well, so those secondary blasts. And another big thing that comes out of this is the framework for camo progression. Unfortunately, we did not get camo progression added in today like we all thought we would. That's kind of a theme that we'll talk about here in just a second, but it is something that the framework was added in. If you go to the armory, you can actually end up seeing that this is already in place to begin with. If you go to the armory of Blackout, you can end up seeing, going over to the camos, you not only have the brand new weapons of the Grav, the MP40, the S6, the Zweander, and the Cap 45, you'll be able to put camos on for Blackout, but you can also end up seeing that whereas previously you only had the reactive camo of that specific weapon, you now have the ability to equip all of them, except there's one big catch with this. You can't do it just yet because you end up seeing that you have to unlock gold on the weapon to earn that reactive camo, or to get it unlocked here for all weapons. And currently there is no gold camo, which is interesting, but we'll talk about that more in just a second. Additionally, on the smaller end, I know some people voiced some concerns over this next couple of parts. They're not really too big in the grand scheme of things, but they are worth noting. Long shot statistics now will end up displaying properly in the after action report, so you won't find numbers in the billions anymore. And then also also, the Zombies Ultimate's character voiceovers will now play as intended in-game. That's something that, again, more minor on the changes side of things, but wanted to throw that in there because, again, some people have voiced their concerns on this. And then outside of that, Zombies was the only other thing that really got some big changes here for that, in which, again, the biggest thing being the new Gauntlet for 9, that being Veni Vidi Zombie, which is, again, another 30 rounds of unique challenges that you can end up playing through, and it's a ton of fun. I really enjoy this challenge system and Gauntlet system within Zombies, so I'm excited for the next one, and I'm excited for them to keep rolling out more challenges for all that kind of stuff. And also for Zombies, you ended up seeing the new weapons added into the armory as well, that being the Grav or Galil. I don't know why it's not called the Galil in this one, but regardless, the Grav is there. You also have the Daemon, the SWAT, the Cap 45, and your MP40 all in the armory, and same with Blackout, actually. You can put camos on those now. I'm curious if in Blackout we'll end up seeing any attachments be able to be placed on those in the future, but that said, that's the changes here that we ended up seeing for today, but that doesn't mean that this update isn't future-proofing for what's to come, because we still have some stuff rolling out throughout the week. And as for those things still to come, that being the Mastery Camos in Blackout and Zombies, full camo progression in Blackout, and the Mastercraft and Reactive Camo support in Blackout and Zombies like we just mentioned a little bit, and also Zero's outfit unlock for Blackouts, that being the Numbers uniform. As for the Mastery Camos, that's something that these have a full camo progression planned to come later this week on PlayStation 4, and if I were to guess, I'd say it'd be Thursday, because we are seeing an update to PC on Thursday, or targeted for Thursday, and so therefore it would be something that would release across the board. I can't imagine they do this for exclusivity on PS4 first, but that would make sense, have it on Thursday if that's the case, and then that will include a new mechanic to unlock different weapon camos as you play through the matches. My guess is those weapon camos are going to be likely the ones that we referenced in yesterday's video that were leaked or data mined. Again, I can't put those on screen right now, but I can put it in the description below for you guys to check out if you're interested. But they also said more information coming soon on that feature, and what is ambiguously worded as what to expect as we get closer to adding this feature, which will include a path to unlocking gold, diamond, and dark matter camos in Blackout. So I interpret this one of two different ways. Either one, it's in addition to the new Blackout camos progression and also their own mastery camos in their own rights, and it's a way that you can end up getting gold, diamond, and dark matter to transfer over from MP into Blackouts, or it could be the second option of those are actually the mastery camos for Blackout, that gold, diamond, and dark matter are just going to be repurposed for Blackout, and it's not going to be anything unique for Blackout as those mastery camos, which I think would piss off a whole lot of people. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see in time. Again, later this week, we'll get something updated here for that to let us know more about it, and also as we start to see that implemented in-game. Now, curiously, there were a lot of things not included in this update. Firstly, I know a lot of players were hoping for weapon tuning. That's something that has been confirmed is going to be coming in 1.13, the update, which was again then later noted as mid-February, and also League Play as well is nowhere to be seen in this update. That again was said to come in mid-February. That delay is due in part because, playing devil's advocate here, Treyarch said they took into account the feedback of professionals, community members, and also team members that they're going to kind of redesign how League Play was initially going to work. Players weren't really fond of the idea of kind of completely breaking away from the ladder perspective that had stemmed from Black Ops 2's League Play, so they're going to incorporate more of that sort of seasonal aspect into it, but not with the whole season. Regardless if that's the true reasoning or not, it is something that's been pushed back to mid-February, and if I were to guess, the weapon tuning and League Play will come right around the 18th or 19th of February, because we are scheduled for a massive game update at that point, because that's when Absolute Zero ends on PlayStation 4, and so therefore we transition right into an entire new season of content, so probably a new POI and Blackout, League Play being added in, and all things considered. So that's the unfortunate truth with League Play right now. We're probably going to be breaking down everything you need to know about League Play in tomorrow's video, because there's a lot more to talk about that I don't want to keep you guys too long here with this one. But that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Everything that did change, everything that is still coming, and what we can look out for on the horizon here on Black Ops 4. So that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you guys happy, disappointed, excited for, bummed out, whatever it may be? Let me know your thoughts on how you feel about this update. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, Zombies. We got you covered the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube, where I can live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. Well, that's it out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.